Kadosh Boker Tov. Wanted to share with you a very interesting halacha, which I think is not very well known. Some people think that Kaddish for a parent, for a father or mother that passed away, is only during the 12 months. And after that, they don't say Kaddish whatsoever. Maybe they will come on the Azkara and they'll do the Kaddish. However, though, he comes and he says that it is actually incorrect. There's a mitzvah to say Kaddish minimum after every single Shiur Torah. And this is talking about even after the 12 months. And he says, and with this, the person is doing nachat ruach to his parents in Olam Haba, and he's bringing them up madrega to madrega. So now this is what's brought down. Now let's see, where's the mekorot? Where do we see such a thing, that there's such a thing as Kaddish even after the 12 months? So it says over here as follows. Everyone knows the famous story in Masechet Kala Rabati, that Rebbe Akiva was in the desert. We spoke about this many, many different times. And then all of a sudden he went and he saw somebody running. He was without clothing. He was coming, running and getting wood. Then afterwards he used to put it. He used to burn himself. He used to come back. The entire story until finally he went and he found out that this person he asked him, did you ever hear, do you have any takana? He says that he heard that he left his wife or his whatever it was, that she was pregnant. So he goes around until he finally finds the city of the person. He asks around, they said, Arur is this person. Look, this person didn't even do a Brit Milah. So he went to this person that he was already, I think he was a teenager already at the time. And he comes and he made him a Brit Milah. And then afterwards he taught him, he started doing Taniyot. Till finally the person comes and he was able to do Taniyot. He was able to come until at the end, he was, if you remember, it was the Haftarah, he was Nismach to Rebbe. There was a lot of different things that he did. And therefore he was able to take his father out of Geinam. However, though, from this story, you see that it does help to say Kaddish after the 12 months. And just like it's brought down also in the Sefer Menurat HaMaor, Rabbi Yitzchak Avuhav. Now he says, so too Rabbi Yehuda Pataya, in a Sefer Minchat Yehuda brings the name of the Arizal HaKadosh. He says that Rishaim, after they pass away, they go into Geinam, they get their punishment, they have an atonement, and therefore they have 12 months in Geinam. He says, some Reshaim, it's written, they don't go to Geinam right away. So therefore for them, what happens is they have to wait, and then they're able to come and go into Geinam. So it's only after the 12 months. So he says it's going to help out. So listen to the Pele Yoetz. Rabbi Eliezer Papo, he comes and he says like this, Ra'ui laben, shekol yemei chayav tiyeh demuto shel aviv chakuka lefanav. It's fitting for a person that he should always have his father in his mind, and therefore he's trying to think that his father's screaming from the fire. He shouldn't stop, not one day throughout his entire life, to say Kaddish, to give tzedakah for the nefesh of his parents. And not like the Amei Aratzot, she'enam zochrim et aviem ve'imam ela biyom hayortzeit, that they only come to pay attention, to pay tribute to their parents on the day of the Yortzeit. He says, not like those people. He says, She'omrim Kaddish, they say Kaddish, and they say do a little bit of tzedakah, they learn a little bit of Torah. Oy lahem la'avot shemetzapim al benehem sheivdum. He says, woe to the parents that they're waiting for their children to redeem them. So he says the son should not stop, not even one day throughout his entire life, to come and to say Kaddish and to give tzedakah for his parents. The same thing is brought down not only in the Pele Yoetz, but the Kaf HaChaim Sofer. The Kaf HaChaim comes and he says in Siman Nun Vav Ot Yutet, in the same name of the Chesed Alafim, that's the Sefer of the Pele Yoetz and Halacha. Also, you should say Kaddish L'Iftar even after 12 months, but there's no toilet to the Kaddish L'Atzid Nefesh Hamei Migeinam Bilvad, Elav Kam Zot Gorem Le'Lo'alot Ma'alot. He says, but it's not only just to take him out of Geinam, it's to bring him up level by level. So therefore it's going to help. So therefore it's fitting it's appropriate for Isha Yareh V'Rach Halevav, for a person who is fearful, Letzavot Panav Shishtalu Lomar Eze Kaddish B'Kol Yom Tamid Kol Yomim, that they should do at least one Kaddish every single day throughout their entire lives. Ki mi areh ve'libo shelo yindol le'achayu b'chodesh. Who's going to be the one that's the guarantee that after 12 months he won't be Geinam anymore? Especially in a Dor Yatom like this. Also to be Shimon Chiradi, he says the same thing. The Shut Shar Shimon Echad, also the Shut Simchat Limon. And he says, maybe you're going to bring me down the Ramah. The Ramah brings down in Siman Shina in Vav Sif Daled, there that the Minhag is only to do it for 11 months, because you don't want to say that your parents are in Geinam. So therefore, what are you going to do? So he comes and he says, right, it's actually not incorrect, because he says, we already said that it's not only just for Geinam, it's to bring up a person higher, so therefore just like it's brought down in the Shut Yaskil Avdi and other places as well, also the Ben Ishchai brings down the name of the Rav Achidah, that according to the Arizal HaKadosh, that it's going to help to bring up the Niftar, so you should say it the entire 12 months, but he says, but okay, so if you want, take off 1 week, and this is only to do with the Kaddishim during that time. Also the Ben Ishchai and the Rav Pe'alim says it, V'im bechol chodesh yubet katav, right? Lomar Kaddish Lachar Divrei Torah. He says you should say the Kaddish after the Divrei Torah, but even though you're going to say that you're not going to, he says at least after Divrei Torah, at least after Dvar Torah, you should say it, right? And then he continues here with bringing more mekomot, more manei mekomot. I'll just finish off by bringing down a beautiful Igrot Moshe. The Igrot Moshe comes and he says as follows. This is in the Shut Yored De'ah Chelek Dalet Siman Samech Aleph. He comes and he says that if you have a case where, for example, you have that a person does not say Kaddish themselves. Why? The son comes and he's not that religious, so he wants to pay someone to do Kaddish for the father. So he comes and he says, so therefore what happens is, he should the person that's being paid should say the Kaddish the full 12 months. That means the person that's being a shaliach for someone else to say Kaddish, and it's not the same child himself doing it, they should be done doing it for 12 months. He says, why? He says they shouldn't do it for 11 months. For 2 reasons. Number 1, he comes and he says, because, right, the reason number 1 he comes and he says is it's going to help the niftar, but maybe he's a rasha. Now, he's not chayav in the kavod of the person. Meaning, the son shouldn't say the full 12 months, but that means he's saying his father's in Geinam. He has to be mechabed his father. He has to respect his father or his mother. However, though, the other person that is being rented to pay up Kaddish, he's not obligated in the respect. So the opposite. Maybe Be'emet he is in Geinam, so therefore he should save the Kaddish the entire 12 months to get him out of Geinam. Second reason, Kevan sherova banim asochrim lomar Kaddish and Reshaim. Since the majority of people that they're paying other people to say the Kaddish, they're Reshaim. Why aren't they doing it themselves? Because they're not coming to shul, they're not coming to Bet Knesset. So he says the majority. He doesn't say all. He says the majority. And even if their father was a tzaddik, the Gemaran Sanhedrin Nun Bet Amud Aleph says, "Tekarina leRashia bar tzadika," right? Rashia bar Rashia. They call a Rasha, the son of a tzaddik, the Rasha ben Rasha. And all the more so to do with the Kaddish, you should be machshiv like a Rasha, but it's actually going to be better for him. So therefore, what are you supposed to do? Those people say for the full 12 months. So anybody that's going to be a messenger or being paid to say Kaddish for somebody else, they don't stop at the 11 months. They stay for sure the entire 12 months. But according to what we just mentioned now, it comes out beautiful that people should pay attention. That people think, no, it's after the year, that's it. Doesn't exist. Right? Even afterwards, it does exist to say for their parents, for the rest of their lives. Right? And even if you're not going to do it every single Kaddish, but at least Kaddish after Divrei Torah, or Kaddish after that, it's going to have a huge help for the Niftar.